Right now, your body is here, but your mind probably isn't. Maybe it's thinking about tomorrow, next week, next year, a conversation that hasn't happened yet, a problem that doesn't exist yet, a future version of yourself. And that's strange, because while your body can only exist in the present, your mind can travel almost anywhere. In a few seconds, you can imagine your future career, your future relationship, your future failures, your future success, and sometimes you spend so much time there that you stop noticing where you are. Humans are one of the few creatures capable of imagining detailed futures. A deer doesn't worry about retirement, a bird doesn't spend hours imagining next year. But humans do, constantly. At first, this sounds like a superpower. And in many ways, it is. Because the ability to imagine tomorrow helped our species survive. We planned, prepared, built, predicted danger, created civilizations. The future became one of humanity's greatest tools, but every tool has a cost. And this one came with a hidden price: the ability to suffer from things that haven't happened. Think about that. A lion can attack you. A storm can destroy your shelter. Those are real dangers. But humans can create danger entirely inside their minds, not because it exists, but because it might exist. A job interview next week, an important message, a first date, an uncertain future. Suddenly your body reacts, as if the threat is already real. Your heart speeds up, your muscles tense, your thoughts begin racing, even though nothing is happening, because your mind is somewhere else. And the more intelligent humans became, the better we got at imagining futures, including bad ones. This is why anxiety often feels so real, because your brain doesn't fully distinguish between a future threat and a present one. Not emotionally. Your imagination can trigger real fear, real stress, real suffering, all from events that haven't happened, and sometimes never happen at all. But there's another problem. When your mind constantly lives in the future, the present starts feeling incomplete. You tell yourself, I'll be happy when I get that job, when I make more money, when I find the right person, when I move somewhere better, when things finally work out. And suddenly, your happiness exists somewhere ahead of you, always ahead, always waiting, always out of reach. The future becomes a moving target, and every time you reach it, your mind creates another one, another goal, another milestone, another version of yourself, another future to chase. This may be one reason why so many people feel stuck, not because they aren't moving, but because their minds never stop running ahead. Meanwhile, life keeps happening right now, this moment, this breath, this conversation, this ordinary day, and most of it passes unnoticed because the future is louder, more dramatic, more exciting, more frightening. The present feels small, but the future feels important, so your attention follows it, again and again, every day, for years. And eventually, many people realize something strange. The future they spent years waiting for eventually became the present, and they barely noticed because they were already thinking about the next future, the next problem, the next goal, the next version of themselves. Maybe that's why peace feels so difficult, not because life is impossible, but because the mind rarely stays where life actually happens. It keeps leaving, again and again and again, always chasing tomorrow. Maybe the future isn't the enemy. Planning matters, goals matter, dreams matter, humans need them. But perhaps the problem begins when we forget to come back, because eventually the future arrives for everyone, and when it does, it becomes the present, just like every future before it. And maybe the strangest part of all is that while you were listening to this video, your mind probably left the present at least once, without you even noticing, because that's what human minds do. They travel, they imagine, they leave, and sometimes they forget to come back. And if that wasn't difficult enough, the modern world makes it even harder, because for most of human history, people worried about the future of their village, their family, their next meal, their next season. But today, your mind can worry about almost anything: a recession, a war, a disease, a stranger's opinion, a career path you haven't chosen, a future that may never arrive. The internet connected humanity, but it also connected our fears. Every day, your mind is exposed to thousands of possible futures, some exciting, some inspiring, and some terrifying. You open your phone for a few minutes, and suddenly you're comparing your life to someone else's future, someone else's success, someone else's dream, someone else's timeline. Without realizing it, your mind starts moving further and further away from the present, because the present feels ordinary. But the future always promises something more. More happiness, more success, more meaning, more certainty. And yet, many people reach the future they wanted, only to discover something surprising. They still feel the same, because the problem was never the future. The problem was believing that life would finally begin there, that peace would finally arrive there, that happiness was waiting there. But life was never there. It was always here, hidden inside ordinary moments. Moments too small for the future-focused mind to notice. The sound of rain, a conversation, a quiet morning, a deep breath, a normal day. The kind of moments people rarely appreciate until they become memories. And maybe that's the final irony. The mind spends its life chasing the future, while someday looking back at the present and wishing it had stayed a little longer. Because the future isn't where life happens. Life happens here. And every second your mind spends somewhere else is a second you'll never get back. So maybe the goal isn't to stop thinking about tomorrow. Maybe the goal is simply remembering to come back before today becomes another memory.